I'm getting lots of questions about this headline today, and I was going to hold off making a video because it's too early, because we're going to get an order probably by the end of the day from the court that outlines exactly what deadlines are going to shift and what happened at that hearing that's relevant. So just hold on a few more hours, maybe a night, and we'll definitely get an order from the court outlining this. But it seems like coming out of the case management conference hearing today that the parties had been referencing in a lot of their filings, December 9th. They had a hearing. This is a typical hearing that happens in civil cases to discuss the management of the case. And it appears that at that hearing, the judge told the parties that he has a lot of criminal cases that are always going to take precedence over civil cases. And so because of that, it does not appear that the courtroom will be available for this particular trial between these people. And so the court has pushed the trial date by 2 months to May 18th. And I'm not surprised by this. In fact, I'm surprised it took this long for it to be moved. I've never heard of ever a case going forward to trial on the originally set date. That has never happened in my experience. I was expecting the trial date to be moved, and now it has been moved. I would not be surprised if it moves again, frankly. Neither party requested this. This is something that the court does, and that is also very typical. So again, not surprised by that. There will be a lot of deadlines that get shifted as a result of this. That will show up in that order that we're waiting for. So again, hold on for that order. It will appear on the docket and it will outline all of that. And it looks like some other things were discussed. So see here, even People Magazine reporting about the criminal trials taking precedence. They also discussed scheduling an oral argument with respect to the summary judgment, at least that. I'm sure he has some other orders and requests with respect to all the other filings. There's motions to compel, there's sanctions motions, there's a spoliation motion. There's a lot going on that's at issue, and he might be wanting oral argument on that as well. But at the very least, it is being reported that January 22nd is a date set for oral arguments on summary judgment. What that is after all the briefing is done. So we'll see a reply brief by Wayfarer filed on Friday. That's all going to be done. Then the clerks and the judge work on the order, or they work on the result of those motions. And then before the court issues an order on the dispositive motions, he wants to have an oral argument where he gives both sides a chance to answer questions that he has. And we can talk a little bit more about what to expect with that, but that's going to happen in January. So we will not be getting an order on the dispositive motions before that. And soon after oral arguments happen, we will likely see an order on those motions. Last piece of information that is being reported is about a magistrate judge to discuss settlement. This is very common. Every single federal judge wants the parties to go see a mediator or a magistrate that can oversee a conversation about settlement. This is very typical. This is something that the courts want to see. The case is getting resolved. And so, again, not surprised by this. This happens in every case that I've been in, federal and state court cases. So the parties will, it could be perfunctory where they go in and say, no, I'm not settling, you're not settling, okay, bye. Takes an hour. Or they could meaningfully try to resolve the case. We know nothing about when, but the judge most likely gave the parties a deadline by which they need to complete that. So I'm hoping that the order that we get from the court today actually tells us that, so we know when they've had that. That does not mean that the parties can't have settlement conversations outside of that, like a private mediation. But at the very least, they need to fulfill this requirement to the judge. So hang tight, guys. There will be an order. We will get more information, and then I'll answer questions that you guys have after that.